Here it is. We are going to start learning Java database connectivity. Today, completely theory part, but very easy. Once you can understand the theoretical concepts of JDBC, in 1 or 2 days, we can complete the programming part. That much easy the concept is. So first thing is, so what is a JDBC? So we know that stands for Java Database Connectivity. Java Database Connectivity. So what is the purpose? Simply JDBC is a library. They can call it as is an API. API means what? A set of predefined classes, abstract classes, and interfaces. It's a library, predefined library. Is used to connect with any database. Connect with any database. You can connect with MySQL. You can connect with Oracle, or you can connect with any other database and perform all the database operations. All the database operations like creation, insertion, deletion, updation, retrieval, any operation. JDBC is a library. Library means what? A set of predefined classes, abstract classes, and interfaces. Classes, abstract classes, and interfaces. That is, and that JDBC, by using JDBC, we can connect with any database and perform all the database operations. Simply DB operations we can perform. There are a few simple steps to connect and to do operations. What are the steps? What are the steps to connect with the database? There are simple steps. The first step is loading the driver. Loading the driver. I'll explain. Second step is, once driver is ready, establish the connection. And once the connection is ready, we can do that operation. Any DB operation you can perform. After that, just closing the connection. Closing the connection. These are the 4 simple steps. First step is important. Loading the driver. Next, establish the connection. Then how can we perform all the DB operations? We'll see. So first of all, what is a driver and why we need to load and how to load? Driver is a class. Of course, in Java, everything is a class. Driver is also class. Driver is a translator. Driver is a translator between the Java program and the database, because the Java syntax is different from the database and the database syntax is different from Java. Driver is simply working like a translator when two persons are communicating, interacting. They just want to share some information, but they don't know the same language to communicate. So then there should be a translator is required. Here driver is the translator. So between the Java application as well as the database. Okay, so where this driver is ready, how can we load this driver? How can we load this driver? Suppose if you are communicating with the MySQL connector is there. Simply, it is available in the jar file. Java MySQL connector jar. You need to download this one. You need to download this. Select that operating system. Once again, practically, I'll show is whenever we are writing the programs, which operating system? Simply platform independent operating system. Platform independent operating system. Zip file, we need to download this one. Once you download, no thanks, just start my download. Then the download will start. Here it is. The download will start. In this one, that jar file is available. So first of all, so what is that jar file? What is that jar file? Which contains, here we need to extract this thing. Once it is downloaded, just we are extracting like this. Extract all. In the same place I'm extracting. Once we extract that, see inside this, see this is the jar file, MySQL connector. In this jar file, that driver class is available. The driver class is available in the jar file. That is the first step. Here, MySQL jar, a predefined jar file, contains driver class. Predefined jar file contains that driver class. That is, in that case, now how to load the driver? It is not coming along with the Java. It's not in Java library. Okay. Jar file contains all the Java classes. Java archive file means what? Simply to say is a zip file. MySQL people only providing that driver class. If you are communicating with Oracle people only will provide that jar file. So first of all, to communicate with the database, we need to establish the connection. Before connection, we need to load the driver. First step is what? Loading the driver. So first, what is the driver? What is the driver? Driver is a class. Driver is a translator between Java and database. Okay, so where the driver class is available? It is available in the jar file that we need to download. But after download, how to use in the Eclipse and all, we will discuss when practical starts. But how to load the driver? How to load the driver? There is a class. There is a class. Class name is a class only. Class name is a class. Loading the driver. Class name is itself called class. So parallelly, better let me explain that so that you'll understand more easily. Loading the driver. How can we load the driver? How can we load the driver? There is a class name called class name called class. In that, there is a method. Method name is a for name. Method name is what? For name. It's a static method. It is taking the driver class name. Is it? Driver class name, it will take as an input for loading. This method is used to load the driver. Load the driver. It's a static method. It is belongs to the class, is a class only. C capital letter. Class keyword means a C small letter. Class name means what? C capital letter. And suppose if the driver is not available, whenever you are giving the driver, if that is not available, it throws exception. Exception is a class not found exception. Exception is class not found exception. This is the simple way of loading the driver. So how can we call? As it is a static method, we need to call using the class name. Class name is a class dot for name, and the driver you need to specify. Sir, what is the driver name? What is the driver name? In package com dot, inside MySQL dot, inside CZ dot, inside JDBC dot, the driver is a class. This is the class. And this is all package names. Package, subpackage, subpackage, subpackage. Like scanner class is belongs to util package how? In the same way. This is the class name. It is belongs to this package. Sir, where it is available? Inside the jar file, it is available. Inside that jar file, it is available. This is what the first step, loading the driver. Practically, I'll show you. Practically, I'll show you. Just wait. Right. I'm taking that project, same core Java project only. You need to look for the Java project here. It's not there. So go to other, search for the Java project. Java project. Here it is. Project name I'm giving JDBC. That's it. JDBC. Create module info? No. Uncheck this if it is checking by default. Finish it. Then the JDBC folder will be created. Empty source folder, and that library will come automatically. Now I'm writing the class on the source. I'm just taking that new class. I'm not using any package. First one, simply load driver. Separately, I'm writing the class. Load driver needs the main method. So this is what the basic skeleton will come. Is a one. I just want to load the driver. So what is the driver name? I just told you string driver name is equals to com dot mysql dot cz dot jdbc dot driver is a name. How can we load the driver? We already discussed that. In class, There is a method is a for name method and it's a static method. Class dot method is a for name and you are passing the driver. Simply giving the message driver is ready. Driver is ready. This is the one. But now see it is showing one error. Once you click on this one, surrounded with a try catch or add throws declaration. So what is that meaning? It is throwing that class not found exception. Class not found exception. So you need to place in try block. You need to place in try block, this one. And we need to catch that exception, class not found exception. Class not found exception. Here we are writing the message clearly. Exception. So what is that? Driver is not found. Driver is not found. This is the first step. This is the driver name. This is the driver name along with the complete package. For loading the driver, there is a name. For name is a static method. It is belongs to the class. It is belongs to the class is a class. Now, when you are executing the code, just right click, run as Java application. It will give that message is a driver is not found. Driver is not found. So then simply here it is. Already jar file is there. Na? Already jar file is there. We already downloaded. MySQL connector that I just paste on my desktop. Now it is on my desktop. Look at this. Right click on application JDBC, build path, configure build path, configure build path. Once you click on third one, libraries, here options are visible, but options in disabled mode. Once you click on module path, just click on module path. So then enable add external jars. Click on add external jars. The jar file is on desktop. This is the jar file. Is a connector, anything. Is an old connector, is a new connector. Any one jar file you select and open. Apply and close. So once again, right click on JDBC app, setting the build path, configure build path. The third one, libraries, click on module path so that all the buttons enable. Click on this button and then select the jar file, open, apply and close. Now here it will show that referenced libraries will show. That is, now if you run the same program, look at this, driver is ready. Driver is ready. This is the first step we need to do. So once translator is ready, you can establish the connection. How to establish the connection? It's the same again. Class name is a driver manager. Method name it is also static method. Get connection. One static method is there. It will return that connection object. Return connection object on success. So return type is connection. This is predefined, but just how they defined, I'm showing here. There is a predefined class. Class name is a driver manager. It belongs to which package, sir? SQL package. In SQL package, driver manager class given. Okay. Which contains get connection method. It is taking input. 3 inputs it is taking. First one is URL or connection string, we can say. Second one, what is the username? And next one, what is the password? Username and password of MySQL database. Username is a root. So password is whatever you set at the time of installation. The same thing we need to specify here. Here it is URL. What is that URL? I'll tell you. Only this thing you need to by heart. URL means what? Simply they mentioned like this. JDBC library, nothing but JDBC API, colon, is connecting with MySQL database // my application is running at localhost. Suppose I have installed MySQL. You people also already installed MySQL. Where you have installed? All of you installed in the same system only, na? In the same computer only. It's called localhost. And every application will run at particular port number. Every application. System has so many ports. By default, MySQL application will run standard port number is 3306. 3306. And finally, what is the database you want to connect? We already discussed that in MySQL concepts. My password is admin I have given. Suppose I just want to connect with this database, student database. Already I have databases. There I want to connect with one student database or banking database, MySQL database, any database. All the things you need to specify here. Database name. This is what URL. You have to by heart. Username. Username is a root for MySQL. Password. Password is a admin. This is the second step. And same story. Suppose if you give any one of these values wrong, there is a chance of getting SQL exception. It is throwing SQL exception. In case any wrong values if you are given, automatically it will throws that SQL exception. Okay. So here, whenever we are writing this, so second step we are following. One more class I am taking in the same package. One more class I'm taking. Here it is. DB connect or connection. DB connection. Separately, I'm writing the classes. That's why. Only the class name I'm changing. DB connection. Every point I'm writing as a separate class. As a separate class. It's a first step. And what is the second step? These are also variables. If you want to create outside, you can create. Or inside also you can create, no problem. It's a string. URL. URL. Once again, JDBC is connecting with MySQL. Connecting with a MySQL. That MySQL we have installed in localhost system, and it is running at port number is a 3306. And we are connecting with the database is a student. And simply string user, just variable. Username is a root, and string password is a admin. So all the three we need to provide. All the three. So here it is driver manager dot get connection of URL, comma, username, comma, password. But look at this. On success, it is returning that connection object. Connection object. So you have to collect into connection type variable. You have to import all these things. Connection is belongs to SQL package. Next, driver manager class belongs to SQL package. All the import statements required. Next, see it is saying that throws declaration, catch clause surrounding by try. Yes, catch clause. Which exception? SQL exception. Let us take it's a E1 and it's a E2. E2. So which problem will come? It's a URL problem or username or password that we don't know. That's why simply we are giving that E2 dot get message. E2 dot get message we are giving. We are importing SQL exception also. Once connection is ready, just giving that message is a connection is ready. Connection is ready. And just when you are executing the code, it is just giving that server identity and all. Look at this. Connection is ready. There's a one. This is the way. See, for example, if I'm giving that password is a wrong, just consider. Password is a wrong password. Look at this. It is giving that exception, access denied for the user root localhost using the password. So all the values you have to give correctly. So any wrong value, so that will create the exception. That is. Sir, I don't want to write these many exceptions means what? So that you know already. Simply exception class. Exception class we need to write easily. We can do everything with the exception. Instead of writing multiple catch blocks, you can write everything with a single catch block. With a single catch block, we can write everything. That is. And one more thing is what? Once connection is ready, you need to close the connection. Normally, closing the connection always in the finally block. We have to write in the finally block. That I'll explain. In two ways we can close the connection. That is in the last step we have discussed. Closing the connection in two ways using finally block. And recently try with the resources option is there. That also I'll explain. So once connection is ready, first loading the driver, next connection establishment, next DB operations. Very simple theoretical concept, database operations. Mainly two interfaces are there. Mainly two interfaces are there. One is a statement interface. Second one is a prepared statement interface to execute any query. Normally, What are the queries we are executing? Either DDL. DDL is rarely because table creation and all, table deletion. Next one is a DML and next one is a DRL. DDL, DML and DRL. To perform these operations, they have given two main interfaces. One is a statement interface. Second one is a prepared statement interface. What are the methods? And the first step is when you can go with that statement interface, when we can go with the prepared statement interface. Statement interface is used to execute static SQL queries. Static SQL queries is used to execute dynamic SQL queries. Static queries and dynamic queries. First of all, what is a static query and what is a dynamic query? What is a static query? What is a dynamic query? First, DDL command, drop table, account table. DML command, delete from account table. DRL, retrieve, select star from account. Look at this. Here it is, deleting complete table. In the second case, delete from account. All the records we are deleting from the account. All the accounts, all the records we are retrieving from the account table. DDL, DML, and DRL. Okay. These are what? Static queries. Static. If you see the dynamic queries, DDL is not there. DML, so many are there. Look at this. Insert into account values. But where are the values? You can't give directly. You have to read account number, account holder name, balance in account. Delete from account where account number equal to, where is account number? Read using scanner class. Read using scanner class. For example, update account, set balance is equal to, I want to deposit some amount where account number equal to. See, what are these question marks? Question marks means what? Input values you are reading from the user. You cannot give the values directly. Delete from account where account number is. If you write directly 103, your program is always work for deleting 103 record only in its entire lifetime. Suppose here, if you ask using the scanner class, enter account number to delete, then they will enter. No, this is what dynamic. Now your application will run for different account numbers deletion. This is what dynamic. You are reading. For example, if you give the values directly here, always it will insert the same record only. No. You have to ask, enter account details so that I will insert. That's what DML. And here it is in a DRL also, see, select star from account where account number is what? That is where location is what? So something you are reading and inserting, it comes under dynamic query. Without reading anything, suppose you are executing the query, those type of queries also there, which are comes under statement. So what we need to select is a statement or prepared statement means what? Depends on the query you are executing. You have to decide whether you are using it's a statement or prepared statement. Two interfaces they have given. And one more thing, it's a last simple thing. They have given three methods, directly fixed methods. One is execute method. Next one is execute update method. Next one is execute query method. Three methods they have given. Execute method to execute DDL commands, DDL queries. Execute update is to execute DML commands. Execute query is to execute DRL commands, data retrieve command. They have given three fixed methods: execute, execute update, execute query. Execute query. Execute method return type is a Boolean. Why Boolean? Execute for DDL. DDL means what? Create table or drop table or modify table. So always you will get either true or false, successfully created or failed. Reason will give. So that's why Boolean is a return type. Execute update return type is integer. Suppose delete from account where location is a Hyderabad. Suppose in Hyderabad, 1000 accounts are there. 1000 accounts will be deleted and return value is 1000. Okay. Return type is integer. Count of records updated it will give. DRL means what? Retrieve. One record. One record means what? One object. It will give that result set class object. Object type it will return. Sir, why? Record. Suppose employee. Employee is a record. Record in Java is an object. Object it will return. So you can easily learn the concepts called JDBC. First point is, what is JDBC? JDBC is an API. API means, if anyone asks, it's a library of predefined classes, abstract classes, and interfaces. Use it to communicate with the database or connect with the database. Connect with the database and perform all database operations. That is operations. First one, they will ask what is a driver. Driver is a translator between a Java application and database. How to load the driver? In class, there is a static method for name method. It's taking driver as an input. And it is throwing exception in case the driver is not present. Class not found exception. That is. Next one, how to establish the connection. In driver manager class, get connection method is there. It is taking URL, username, and password. On failure, it throws SQL exception. And URL, you need to remember that JDBC is connecting with a MySQL database, and here it is running in the local host system, from 3306 port number, and I want to connect with the database. Okay, so once connection is ready to execute the queries, there are two interfaces, statement interface and prepared statement interface. Statement interface is to execute that static SQL queries. Prepared statement interface is to execute dynamic SQL queries. Static SQL queries means what? The queries without any dynamic values. Dynamic queries means what? We are reading and we will inject these values at runtime by using scanner class and all. They have given three methods clearly to execute three different commands. Execute is for DDL commands. Execute update is for DML commands. Execute query is for DRL commands. Simply. Okay. This is a theory and try. We'll upload that video and we will share. Try to write all these things. In the tomorrow class, we will execute all the commands. All the CRUD operations we will do in the next class. That will be very easy.